right, shalom. Most High in Christ bless. Happy Sabbath to everybody tuning in across the globe. All praises to the Most High in Christ. We have truly made it to another Sabbath. All praises to the Most High. A lot of people can't say that with these viruses and everything, how the Most High is putting the pressure on, especially in what y'all call 2020. It's just not a joke. So all praises to the Most High in Christ. We're back again live another Sabbath, and it's actually a blessing, okay? Make sure that you brothers and sisters are taking notes. Make sure that you have a 1611 King James Bible. If you are the new school generation that's using Bible apps and phone apps and all kind of other stuff, to, screenshotting verses and stuff, make sure you have the right version. But more importantly, you might want to go trash that and get yourself an actual hard copy of a Bible, because let's say your power died. Let's say the powers is out. Whatever the case may be. Anyway, make sure that you are studying the 1611 King James Bible. Tonight's topic, whitewashed. The mind of a fool. Now, let me say this. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, you could see some of the most craziest things coming out of our nation and the things that they're doing and all kind of stuff. We're going to talk about and touch some of that stuff, okay? Now, whitewash, get them off of there, please. It's sad in a sense. And you folks that are being tagged in on this video, all right, stop running from truth and stop running from reality. All right? The nation, and when I say the nation, I'm talking about our nation, which is you so-called blacks and you so-called Hispanics, whose fathers of Negroid and of Indian descent, the children, the biblical children who God said would be oppressed in the last days, will not have your nation, won't have your land, won't have anything. All right? You will be oppressed and scattered across the four corners of the earth, primarily in the Americas. This nation, we're talking to you, okay? And if we have to talk about it, whitewash has nothing to do with color. How about that? For some of you simple ones out there who always think that we're talking about black versus white or color or whatever. Nobody's ever talking about color. Only an ignorant person would do that. All right? We're talking about a system. We're talking about a people who are governing a system. All right? And we're talking about the people who are backing the system. We're talking about people who love the system. We're talking about a bunch of ignorant folks who can't see the forest from the trees and understand that we're at the bottom getting killed through ignorance. All right? These folks, you watch the news media, you watch all these people they put up there, they don't want to put us up there. Let me say that. Because you want to know why? Because they don't want truth in your face. They'll never do that. Because the hard questions, the true questions, and the true reality, a lot of you folks hate the Bible, you hate God, you hate yourself. Well, we're going to get into some scriptures, the holy book, the holy Bible, because this is the only way out. You want to talk about rappers being killed? You're following the book, you wouldn't even be in that situation. They would have never been in this situation. You want to talk about our people stuck in politics? If they're following the Bible, they'll never be stuck in those ideologies. They won't. But because you have all these different schools of thoughts, and you have, we played it last week, the opening of the class, the man said the people are the virus. We got a lot of viruses out here, all right? And we need to really start understanding that the Most High is going to set forth judgment, which is exterminate all you virus people out here. This is over with, all right? Let's open up with the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, and let's start at verse 12.
All right, shalom. Most High in Christ bless. Happy Sabbath. Ecclesiastes 1 and 12. A book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1 and verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
I, the preacher, was king over Israel in Jerusalem.
Come on.
And I gave my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven. This sore travail hath God given to the sons of man to be exercised therewith.
So let me say this: a sore travail. Travail is like real serious work. Sore travail, if you give your heart to search out and seek wisdom, to seek knowledge, to seek understanding. Because once you can't unsee that, it's impossible. Once you find out and you have seen, you can't undo it. That's where the problem lies. Our people hiding from seeking knowledge. But you will seek it in other arenas. Politics, entertainment, sports, anything. You know, Egyptology, religion. You'll seek it like that. And it's right before you. It's right in your eyes. We are a nation of people who possess absolutely nothing with the world. If we had our own land, we keep saying this, we could dictate, cut this portion of the land off. We're going to wait 2 weeks. We're going to go dictate. Let's go back to the Bible. Leviticus tells us if somebody has some type of plague, we need to remove them from without the camp and monitor them. Not, oh, you know what? We don't want to shut down nothing.
Yep.
You know, half of us want to shut down, half of us don't.
You know something? That goes back to the miry clay. Because you have these different trains of thought and different ideologies and different philosophies, even with dealing with that situation with the virus, like you're just saying. You got one aspect of it saying they're fighting this, different faction about, we need to shut down, or we don't want to shut down, and such, and realizing that if you do it according to the scriptures, isolate, it would shut down and spread. People don't understand. It's simple, basic, common sense. Like, if I know somebody's sick and I know there's a pandemic going on.
Quarantine time.
Right. Why would you sit there and want to fight through that? It's foolishness.
But you know what y'all got? Let's just talk about this. You have people who have political agendas, and they call them conservatives, and they use words like liberal. All right. Now, put up conservative. Give me Google. They love Google. Pull up Google. Let's go to the word conservative. Watch what happens. We'll show you something. It's all an illusion. Conservative people. That tends to be the Republicans. The liberal people tend to fold that over on Democrats. So how does one choose if he's a conservative or a liberal? All right, pull a definition up. Come on. Complete madness. Okay, so if you're a conservative, play it.
Conservative.
All right, so if you're a conservative, what that looks like, it says, is that you're averse to change or innovation and holding traditional values. Oh. In a political context, what does it say? Favoring free enterprise, private ownership, socially traditional ideas. Right wing. Okay. Yeah. Now, a person who is adverse to change and holds traditional values. Okay. What kind of traditional values they're holding? Making America great again? We were just talking about this. We challenge any person who think that they're conservative and is behind the slogan, make America great again. We challenge you. Give me any century that America was great in. You tell me the 1500s, this man stole the land from who you know of as the natives. You go to 1600s, he's shipping in slaves. You go to the 1700s, there have wars, civil wars and outbreaks happening so that they can form different unions and fights, and everything is happening in that. People are dying. So you're telling me the 1700s were great. Okay. The 1800s, you have all these outbursts of plantations, colonialism, socialism, all kind of things are happening. You have split in money, all kind of things happening then. President assassinations, everything going on. 1900s, same thing. Civil rights movement, people trying to, all kind of things happening.
You got world wars, the Cold War. You got all these different things, and meanwhile, see, and if you're a so-called black person, and you talk about making America great again, you dumb as hell.
Yeah, you detached.
You dumb as hell. I'm gonna just be raw with you. You dumb, because ain't nowhere hell you was never great because you was always oppressed. You still oppressed. Don't even realize it. The worst type of slave is the one that don't know you a slave. That's the worst type of slave, because anytime you sit there and think that you're on this man's level, you're crazy. And he reminds you every day that you're not great. But for some odd reason, we get tricked up. Like yours truly, Candace Owens. Had to put your name out there. I'm just going to say it straight up.
We would sit down with her.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know how productive it would be, because her ideologies is somewhat. We'll see what happens with that girl. I'm gonna tell you what happens with it. Y'all folks gotta bear with it. What happens is her mind is stuck on politics, so she's in an illusion. So she blurs the line between, the black culture is trash. Well, we know this. People are doing anything. It's ignorance. It promotes ignorance. But so does America. All day, every day. So she blurs that line, and then she has people saying things. It's really, it's not a threat, but it's an embarrassment. Let me just put it that way, because they're not going to take her serious. It's the same thing when Trump pulled Omarosa in. It wasn't taken serious. So it's really, it's just really an embarrassment to the people. I'm going to show you a clip. Go ahead. Give me a clip. Watch this. Go to the Turks. They got one of the Young Turks. They got a nice little clip of her up there acting stupid. It's the Young Turks. Pull a clip up there. Yeah. Even somebody that's outside of understanding the nation and the plight of the black and Hispanic people in general, let's just say that. Someone outside of that can look and go, oh, man, their situation is not good at all. Somebody outside of that can see it. So then when you get somebody inside that's doing what she's doing, it just shows you a whole nother agenda. But we'll show you. Come on.
Candace Owens was reminded by the people who pay her that now's the time for her to come out and say terrible things against black people. And that's exactly what she did in reference to George Floyd. This video was just so, it was just so disgusting, and I hated that I needed to watch it. And I hate that I'm sharing part of it with you now, but I think it's important to understand how easily people can be corrupted into saying this type of disgusting nonsense. So go ahead and watch.
I want to come out and say that I do not support George Floyd and the media depiction of him as a martyr for Black America. Shelby Steele said that the Black community is unique from other communities. Our culture is unique from other communities because we are the only community that caters to the bottom denominator of our society. Now let me explain what that means. It means to say that not every Black American is a criminal, not every Black American is committing crimes, but we are unique in that we are the only people that fight and scream and demand support and justice for the people in our community that are up to no good. You would be hard-pressed to find, a Jewish person who has spent 5 stints in prison, who commits a crime and dies while committing a crime.
Stop there right there. Stop. Hold up. That's a damn lie. We don't go to our own people in our community asking for no help. We go to our oppressor. That they set up some damn coons like you. They set her up and have them as the spokesperson for our people. That's a lie. So I have to correct her on that. That's a damn lie right there, because at the end of the day, we go to these. Where do they go to? They go to people like her. They go to the so-called black church, and they go to the people who think just like that. Mm-hmm. Oh, I just wanted to just bring that point out. Go ahead.
And that the Jewish people champion and demand justice for. You will be hard-pressed to find this in white America. You'll be hard-pressed to find this even in Latino America.
I'm actually not hard-pressed at all. George Zimmerman was made to be a hero because he murdered a 17-year-old, a teenager.
Pause. Also, see, this is where get him off real quick. This is where I have a problem at as well, because didn't we just see a big post with Ricky Stroder and a pillow guy bailing out the little kid from Kenosha?
Right, Mr. Silver Spoons himself.
Right. He put up money
right
to get him out and take a picture.
Yes, with him.
Smiling with him.
Yes.
So what is she talking about? And that's another thing. You'll never see, this is where you realize the mind of a fool comes in, because you never see them talking about the so-called white man in his full-on folly. For instance, she's pro-Trump, right?
All day.
Give me 2 pictures on Trump. I'll show y'all something. These people look familiar to you? Jeffrey Epstein, the Lolita Express, child pornography, pedophilia. Look who's sitting next to him. Is that just a coincidence? Is that a coincidence? Go to another picture. Oh, Mr. Harvey Weinstein. He's another person who got a lot of lewd conduct and different things against him. Look who's standing next. Look at what they're doing. It's sad because Jeffrey Epstein, they said he just killed himself, but nah. Yeah, look at her. So when you line up, when you line up, you looking at Trump. Remember the that's it's go to the Huffington Post clip. Well, I'm just showing y'all reality right now, okay? Because she got up. We're the only community. No, we're a community that is lawless. We need to return back to God's commandments, not politics. Because you'll listen to her, she'll go, the problem is it's the Democrats. No, the problem is when the crack was out, who was there? Who was running things? If you look at the span of the 80s and the 90s, you have a mix. You don't have no all Democrat tickets. You don't have all Republicans.
Last I checked, Ronald Reagan was in the middle of the Iran-Contra scam, who, by the way, spawned what you know today as you had the crack cocaine trade going on, funded by the damn CIA. So for her to talk like that, she probably
wasn't Ronald Reagan a Republican?
You better believe he was all day long. And see, she probably too daggone young and too ignorant to even realize that dumb stuff, because she just repeating something, regurgitating, never lived nothing in her life. Don't realize that the people that you are supporting, you understand, all this stuff was going in the 80s. When the crack cocaine thing hit, the Republicans was in that junk. You know what I'm trying to say? How you think you got these other drug lords that roamed the prominence in that time? Because they allowed that stuff to happen under their watch. But yet, she wants to sit there and just point fingers.
Well, get the Huffington Post.
Yeah.
She's standing next to him. Yeah. But yet all the time they talk about our communities, and they talk about it in the wrong light. Granted, yes, no one wants to glorify ignorance and bad behavior. That's not what this is about. But this is about a system. So you house a system. If you keep hitting if you keep hitting the beehive, them bees gonna come out. But the thing is, they supposed to be doing work. But if you keep it agitating it, they ain't doing no work. They now out. So that's what happens to our community. We're being agitated by the policies, by the system, and everything. And she was on there saying that, oh, it's an illusion. There's no high rate of police brutality in the black community. She has not been to the streets. She has not been to the streets. She don't understand nothing.
Another thing too, and I think we might bring it up, is she wants to talk about racism. See, she's from Connecticut. She went to high school in Connecticut. Had an issue with racial tensions, as a matter of fact. As a matter of fact, sued the high school. Got paid. Got paid, right? So she is trying to talk as if racism doesn't exist. Well, check this out. Get the money back.
She ain't gonna do that.
No.
She ain't gonna do that. Get the Huffington Post. You had it? Oh, here, I got you. I got the clip for you. I got the clip for you. Here you go. Bear with us. We're just showing reality to you folks. I just sent it to you. Because you're applauding. We're the only people applauding bad behavior. Okay. Let's play that video real quick. Show y'all something. We're applauding bad. We're the people that applaud bad behavior. Meanwhile, you got all the crooked people up there. Let's go.
I was perfectly fine saying nothing at all, but I'm not okay with being made out to be a liar.
Thought you was conservative. Pause. Oh. Daniels claims the affair began when she spanked him with a magazine with Trump's face on the cover of it. Okay, come on. So I guess that's conservative.
So I was like, turn around, drop him.
You told Donald Trump to turn around and take off his pants.
Yes.
And did he?
Yes. So he turned around and pulled his pants down a little. You know, he had underwear on and stuff, and I just gave him a couple swats. He's like, wow, you are special. You remind me of my daughter. You know, he's like, you're smart, beautiful, and a woman to be reckoned with. And I like you.
Were you physically attracted to him?
No,
Not at all.
no,
Did you want to have sex with him?
no. But I didn't say no. I'm not a victim. I'm not.
It was entirely consensual.
Oh, yes. Yes.
You work in an industry where condom use is an issue. Did he use a condom?
No,
Did you ask him to?
no.
Get him out of there, man. Get him out of there. Get him out of there. Get him out of there. Just showing y'all. I'm just trying. I'm trying. We're just being PG. We're being PG
I'm sorry,
right
I'm
now.
being PG, but good. I mean, yo, man, I'm laughing about this junk because I'm sorry, y'all. Part of me had to say something, but it's sad because this is the president. It is amazing how your shooting Candace is basically, you know, she's just oblivious. That's all I'm gonna say. It's foolish.
We're we're showing y'all this because some of y'all know this already, but we're showing for you new folks that don't really understand the sensual, devilish deeds that are happening in this world. You have forked tongues. She's speaking about a nation of people who are glorifying complete madness. Okay, fine. But then she's going over to the people such as conservative or Republicans or the white people and acting as if their social decadence is where you need to be at. No, it's not. You should be at the commandments of God, not politics, not what they do. They're not the standard of what social decadence is. God is. They're not the standard of what success is. God is, period. So when you look at it, because you're in a monetary system, because their money dictates amenities that you can buy, you, in your mind, you equate that to success. That's not what the Bible is saying success is, okay? And you have to have a real slave-type mentality to understand to be in his system, period. If your mind goes, you know what, I'm a be in this system real quick, and I'm gonna thrive in his system. I'm gonna push away what God says, and I'm gonna thrive in the system. But I'm a whole part of it. You better understand the sensual devil nature that's going on.
Can I hit this?
Yeah.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. And this is the problem with our people. You want to like the elder saying, you think this is the golden standard, the platinum standard on how we supposed to carry ourselves. Even our women. I mean, look at how that woman sat there and talked about sex like it was no big deal. Like, oh, what did you like? What?
So you know when you are because somebody could think, okay, well, everybody's human,
Right.
but you have to understand something when it comes down to being put into as a public servant role. Christ himself was human.
Yep.
If he did the things like that, then it would be destroy your whole foundation. Everything will be bad. So when you take a man and you're lifting him up to be a president, that's why Israelites don't vote for no presidents.
Right.
We didn't vote for him. Everybody who voted for any president, then whatever that president did underneath their terms, guess what? You condoned it. You were in line with it. We ain't say you are directly responsible because they can put whoever they want in the office, but you lined up with his policies and you believed him. No, you cannot condone any actions and then come to the other side and be a hypocrite. How does that work? But go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
That's the thing. We can't envy our oppressor. We can't, act like that because the Lord we are holy people. We have a holy conduct, how we're supposed to carry ourselves morally, all kinds of ways. But the problem is what happens with our people, when you tell our people don't keep commandments, you're telling our people to be out of order. You're telling our people to act like savages. And that's the main reason why we're out there doing that, because the so-called pastors who's supposed to be spiritual leaders, they're not teaching us according to the scriptures. As it is written, they're based on philosophies.
Let me say this, too. If you are knowing that you are of the holy people, let me say this. I got to be honest with y'all. Just talk about it. And you still conduct yourself like this man's system, you don't want to stop smoking. You don't want to stop your little drinking. You don't want to stop bending ladies over. Ladies, you don't want to stop hustling men for money. You don't want to stop being ignorant. You don't want to humble yourself. A man does not want to take his role. A person in this world, you want to get over on every little nook and cranny and all this other stuff. Shame on you, all right? And you deserve what you get. There's a higher power. See, contrary to popular belief, the Most High is showing this. He took this year, trashed it out for you. You want to go to holiday? Nothing. Thanksgiving? Nothing. Black Friday? Nothing. You don't see no crowds right there. They like, empty. All praises to the Most High, because we warned you in the end term of this, and this is only the beginning. This is only the beginning. So if the righteous shall scarcely, the Bible said the righteous shall scarcely be saved. So how could you know that you are an Israelite and still act like a nigga is behind me? Or know that you're an Israelite and still fall back and act like the so-called white man? Let's call him by his name, Hunky. All right? How you going to act like that? Or act like the Chinese man or whoever it is outside of how God told us to act, and you want to act like that, you are direct responsible for the way the nation is. Each one of us are responsible for conducting ourselves in the most highest level of righteousness. And if you don't do it, guess what? You can't complain about nothing. If it wasn't for the Israelites teaching on the streets right now, a lot of y'all houses would be broken into. We know direct brothers that went, yo, man, thank y'all for doing what you did and shining a light on it, because the other night, man, if I didn't hear y'all say this, I would have been up in that house right there.
Brother, we stopped so many people from committing crimes on the streets by this word. And I'm just saying that because the Lord used us as holy vessels, and I'm not putting it up like it's us. But my point is, we've stopped many brothers and sisters from out there doing wickedness based on giving them understanding of the scriptures on how they're supposed to conduct themselves. To me, y'all have to understand. That's why people respect it. And they're like, look, that's making the law enforcement job easier. Because we tell a brother or a sister, listen, you don't have to do that. You're a holy people. This is how you're supposed to conduct yourself. That stopped them from doing something like that.
Politics is not doing that.
Right.
Christianity is not doing that. You might have a person in Christianity that just has a spirit on him where he's nonviolent, where he doesn't go out and commit these type of things. But we see it time and time again. In the churches, we got the drug dealers.
Yep.
Giving tithe money, all kind of things. The time for playing games. We have to be serious men, serious women, and we have to understand we're underneath high-level attack. We're going to show you how the attack is, all right? But you cannot line up with your oppressor and then choose his ways. You want to do Thanksgiving, but you don't want to do Feast of Dedication?
But look at this, though, Look at this. Look at how crafty this man is. You have Thanksgiving was yesterday. Today was Native American Heritage Day. What the heck is? I mean, come on now. I mean, come on, y'all. I mean, come on. Let's not fall for the okie doke on that.
Let me hit some. Let me punch. let me please. Let me punch somebody real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanksgiving, to kick y'all sports people in the face.
Yeah.
They always have Cowboys versus Indians, don't they?
Sure enough.
The Cowboys versus the Redskins, always, don't they?
What
they
happened?
changed their name to Washington. How stupid that is. Now you just got the Cowboys in Washington?
Washington football team.
It always was Cowboys versus Indians.
Yes.
Nobody never thought of it. Year after year, everybody gathering for the Cowboy game and
the Redskins, and then, you have half the household over here lacking this, half the house, not realizing y'all part of the issue. Not realize that's a tradition that y'all pushing, and it's sad because they mask it with just entertainment.
yeah, I mean, you never think about it. Wait a minute, the Cowboys shooting the Indians. There was wars. What about the Bloody Run? What about when they gave them smallpox blankets? Was America great right there?
Mm-hmm.
What about when they slaughtered 77 million people? Was America great right there for you simple ones? We're standing for the woman that was locked in slavery. Then when the so-called white man told her to go get another wench, she spit in his face and was killed. We're standing for her.
You better believe it.
We're not standing for nobody else. That's what y'all don't understand. That woman who said, I'm not going to go get another one of our people and bring her over here so you can do whatever you want to. No, I'm not doing it. And she's get killed, we're standing for her.
And
Goodbye.
We got modern day wenches today. That's willing to be put into that fold. And I'm just going to say it straight up. A lot of y'all want to just be down with that. But guess what? We ain't a part of that nonsense.
We're standing for the Gabriel Prosters, the Nat Turners,
Exactly.
the men who said no. We're not trying to be in a capacity where this is a new day and age because the Lord poured out the Spirit back upon the earth for us to know who we really are. So you think death separates anything? Don't make no difference.
Hey, can I pull our famous scripture we pulled, brother, to prove to separate people? Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 94, verse 16. Because who gonna stand up? See, the problem is if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. And the problem with our people is they always want to stand for the wrong thing. You want to stand for this man's system. You want this man's system to go on forever. Guess what? It ain't gonna go on forever. Because when Christ come back, when that day happens, you best believe you're going to know who is going to be on the side of the Most High or who's going to be on the side of your oppressed. We're going to find out. The book of Psalms, chapter 94, verse 16, brother.
The book of Psalms, chapter 94 and verse 16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers?
You hear what the Most High says? How do you know someone's an evildoer without laws? How do you know the difference between what's right and what's wrong without laws? How do you know it's wrong to steal or to murder? How do you know that? You won't know sin except by the law. So it says, who will stand up for me? That's what the Most High is saying. Who going to stand up for him? Go ahead, brother.
Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
The workers of sin.
Well, you see her mentality. She was been the one that said, how many wenches do you want?
Right.
It's sad. Right. It's sad. Let's go to Proverbs. Let's go right to Proverbs. Right. Chapter 26 and verse 12. Let me get that one. 26 and verse 12.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 26 and verse 12. Seest thou a man wise in his own conceit?
You see somebody wise in their own conceits. It seemed like she's intelligent. Yep. It seemed like all of these people who's in that box, you would think that they're intelligent until you really dial back and start understanding they're real ignorant according to what God says. Seest thou a man wise in his own conceits? Come on.
There is more hope of a fool than of him.
There's more hope for a fool. Why? Because that girl, go back to Psalm 62 and verse 10. I'm going to show y'all another clip before we read that. This is for y'all women who don't think nothing. Go to the Troop video. Look at what her ran on that girl Breonna Taylor. It's sad. Yeah, that's sad. But watch how the lines are blurred. You got it? All right, let's go. Watch this.
Breonna Taylor, where actually every single piece of information that was provided us through the media was an absolute lie. Breonna was an EMT who was living life the right way. The police officers showed up accidentally to the wrong door and shot her while she was asleep. All of it, a lie. Not even one part of it's true. Not one piece of that was true. First and foremost, Breonna Taylor was not an EMT. She had been in the past, but she had to step away from being an EMT because a car that she had rented all the way back in 2016 was involved in a homicide that was being investigated. A homicide which involved her boyfriend, the one that was a drug dealer, her ex-boyfriend at the time that she has been killed, Jamarcus Glover. This is all about a very intricate drug ring that the police officers had been following for years in this town that Breonna Taylor was unfortunately at the center of. Now, you know, this is one of those instances when you're growing up and your parents tell you not to hang out with the wrong people because you can end up in the wrong circumstances and you can get yourself into trouble. If we're hanging in the wrong crowd, doesn't matter if we're actively helping our boyfriends move drugs, which is what Breonna Taylor was actually doing, okay? This is the truth.
Hold on. See, that's slander. You know, it's sad. It's defamation of character because show me evidence what you talking about. Because the girl, and you know what I'm saying, and that right there to me, that shows me her ignorance. Because when you do stuff like that, it's one thing if you got evidence to to prove your points, but to say something on pure speculation, because if that's the case, then answer me this: why they pay her family money?
Mm-hmm.
If she's so convinced on what she's saying, why? Because that's the case. That's the case. Then they wouldn't have been liable. If basically if she was what she says she is, that family wouldn't have been liable for no money. Okay, that show you how dumb. I mean, I'm just gonna keep it real.
She's hasty in words.
Yes,
like Proverbs 29:20
right.
says. All right, see, it's a man that's hasty in words is more hope for a fool.
Right.
All right, but you know what's funny about this as well, and funny what I mean is by sad. She's saying you hang out with the wrong circles and this and that. Okay, we give you that.
Yeah, right.
What get her crazy behind off here real quick. What about Lil Tamir Rice? Who was he hanging with when he was just playing in the park with a toy gun, playing in the park, and people spot him and profile him automatically and say there's a man pointing a gun, and they pull up on him, a child, and open fire on him. What about the old lady who barely can hear? You're barking out commands. She's still saying, hey, what are you saying? The police pick her up, power drive her into the ground. You see the problem when you are detached from reality and you're trying to you got to realize something. That lady, she's married to an Edomite guy, and her whole outlook on life is whitewashed. The way that she's thinking systematically is that there's racism doesn't even exist.
Well, I'm gonna say it again. When you pull up her history, her family got money from that high school.
Yeah, somebody go to the video.
Yeah.
Somebody pulled it up in the Minority Report.
Yeah. You see, this the thing.
5-minute mark.
See, the thing when you start talking nonsense, she must forget. People can pull up her records too. You know, on your credibility. Because my point is, what's your purpose? Why would you get up there and just talk about folks that they dead now? These people are dead.
She did. I think it's a publicity stunt, like some brothers and sisters are saying, because she did the same thing with George Floyd.
Right.
She's doing it with her. I mean, at the end of the day, what about what's his name, Ahmaud Arbery?
Right.
What about him? You jogging through a community, you just stop in to look at something, and then boom, now you're shot. So, you know, you have to really look at it's not her. Listen, y'all. Listen, folks. She's not the only one that thinks like that. If you are not in the truth, you are thinking like her. If you are not returning back to God, Christ, in the keeping of the commandments, as an Israelite, you are thinking like she is. You don't see in your mind. You might not be in an outspoken manner of going, well, she's this and us, so, but it's the mentality that she has. She trusts in oppression right now. Okay, go to that video. Watch this. What Deacon Raphael was saying. We can show y'all. Yep, hit the 5-minute mark. I can't watch the whole thing.
And here it is. This is January 23rd, 2008. The title of the news article is a racist threats case filed by Stanford High student settled for $37,500. The lawsuit filed in May accused the city of, quote, failing to act in part because of one of the callers is the son of Stanford Mayor Daniel Malloy. And this is apparently, this is Mayor Malloy, I guess. I don't know if he was the governor at that point. I don't know. The exact amount of the Board of Education paid the family of Candace Owens, now an 18-year-old Stanford High graduate, was made public yesterday after the advocate filed a Freedom of Information request last week. They spent an initial $25,000, and the school board has 30 days to pay the Owens family by check to their attorney, Norman Pattis. The entire $62,500 tab will come out of a $375,000 legal fund. It was a $25,000 cost to the city. So this is what happened. Last February, at least one of 5 teenagers sitting in a car left messages threatening to kill Owens, who is black, and repeatedly used a racial epithet. One of the 3 messages, one of them referred to her as dirty and threatened to burn her house down and tar and feather her. The group included Malloy's youngest son, Sam, sadly, then 14. The mayor released a statement in March saying his son cooperated with police and did not know the alleged ringleader, Evan Kopech, or Owens before the night of the calls. Kopech was a former friend and classmate of Owens. They had a shouting match during school. The Owens left school for 6 weeks, saying it was traumatic to attend with the alleged callers.
Stop
She
right
returned
there.
after Kopech was.
Stop right there. You know what? Shut that junk down. You know what? What I don't like about that? If that's the case, then you so traumatized. You traumatized back then, and why don't she give the money back? Thou hypocrite. That's basically what you are. You a hypocrite because you're traumatized by how they're gonna tar and feather you. Yeah, that's what they talk about you. You think they still don't think that way about
calling
you?
her a monkey.
You damn right. See, that's what I'm saying. People like that, that's what makes me upset because she's a hypocrite. Because you're going to get up there and talk all high and mighty because you got you with a so-called white man and think for some odd reason you climbed a certain level, not realizing when he tossed you behind the way, just like, what's the name? What's the chick name? Stacey Dash. She did the same thing, but guess what that Edomite husband did? He kicked her to the curb and put charges on her behind. So don't ever forget. You're never going to forget who you are, and they're going to always remember who you are. And last I checked, like I said, give the money back. Okay? If that's the case, then you think racism don't exist. Why was you traumatized for 6 weeks? Traumatized from what? No, excuse me. It wasn't racism, was it?
She ain't gonna get that money back.
No, she didn't give it back.
She ain't gonna get that money back. It's a video. Look, I think I sent it to you. It's a person named Cerebral did it up. This is what happens with our nation. I want y'all to listen to it. I can't play all of it once again, but I want y'all to listen to it because this is the mind state of how our people look at things, and everybody has their own mind. Let's just say that. That's what make you who you are. But when it's disruptive and it's embarrassing, it's the nation's job to step in. Like, for instance, in politics, if you have a ambassador that's supposed to be for the United States and he's overseas and he's being an embarrassment, the United States going to be like, clip him off. Get him out of there. He's an embarrassment. It's the same thing they was trying to put with the with some of the dignitaries that was overseas in Russia, in China, all right, in the UK. They pulled some of those people back. Why? Because they were being an embarrassment, all right, to the United States. So it's no difference with someone embarrassing your nation that you are a part of, all right? That's why we keep saying you glorifying rap music and stuff like that and everything else, which is lewd conduct, putting out lewd lyrics and showing lewd conduct. It only embarrasses the nation, make them think you savages. And then you glorify that. I'm a savage. Okay. Well, you have the right to be a savage. You have also the right to die as well. Exactly. Now go to the video. I'm showing y'all something. She is in this video is titled "She Put Race to the Side and Won." Yeah. Okay. Come on. Let's listen to it. Play a couple minutes.
Hey everybody, I am back with episode 3 of my series, She Put Race to the Side and Won. This woman you're looking at, her name is Candace Owens, but now her name is Candace Farmer, and boy did she win. She's somewhat of a controversial woman, but I kind of like her because she's not a sheep and she doesn't play victim as far as race is concerned. She's the type who will date who she wants and she doesn't make any apologies about it. She doesn't give a
Stop. You must didn't pull up her history, miss. She did play victim. She got paid. So she didn't put away race and won.
No, she benefited from it. She got 37 grand plus she had a 6-week vacation. You must not know your history, Miss. She should have pulled up. See, that's the problem. That's ignorance right there. She must not know her. Okay? Go ahead.
Damn what black people think. I mean, not when it comes to speaking her mind in politics and her dating life. And I admire that about her. Now, she is a conservative, and I guess she's a Republican, and her support of Donald Trump had many people upset. Also, her referring to the Democratic Party as a plantation. Now, I know many black people are Democratic, but we used to think with the views that many Republicans have, you would think more black people would be Republican.
Matter of fact, I can't take her that much. Get her out of here, please. That's a myth. All of this stuff is a myth. So you have to understand, folks, when you are pushed at the bottom and you are oppressed, to be honest with you, voting is at the last level of your mind. You trying to make ends meet. You trying to make money because you have bills to pay. So when they come around and they sign you up to vote, sometimes people get paid to sign people up for votes. They walk around. But I remember a lot of times we'd be at camp. Somebody walk up and say, "Hey, would you guys like to vote?" So ignorantly. And they're out there getting paid to sign people up. And a lot of times when they go to sign people up, a lot of the black folks or Hispanic folks give the wrong information. And they turn these voter registration paperworks in and say that, oh, we signed these many people up to vote. And then Esau takes and tabulates his numbers and do all type of statistical data and polls, exit polls and everything from that, and then form an illusion to you folks that really believe in democracy. So she's won, she put race to the side. Now she put God to the side, because if she was conservative, which is holding to the traditional values, which it should be from the Bible, God said that you can't even marry outside your race. Exactly. So it shows you this all an illusion, is all a joke, all right? Give me the book of Jeremiah real quick. Chapter 50 and verse 24. I just want to touch that real quick.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 24.
Come on.
I have laid a snare for thee.
Come on.
And thou art also taken, O Babylon.
O Babylon. So it's talking about ancient Babylon, but this is a similitude for any nation that lines itself up like Babylon, the capital of confusion, which is America, okay? Snares will be laid for you. Come on.
And thou wast not aware.
And thou was not aware. So what you're witnessing in these elections and in this day and age is a decline. All type of lies have to go out about America, about the policies, about what's going on, all the lies. But meanwhile, you have not realized something, that technology has caught up with the lies. So people is just filming things and reporting things themselves, and the big news media can't even control it. So this lie about big tech and the medias and the right wing and the left wing is all an illusion. It's all a lie. Yep. It's a gridlock system to keep a people oppressed. I have the document from the House of Representatives stating that they had what they were trying to do with the Negroes. They have to keep you agitated so that you won't become a communist. And uprise and want to literally uprise. She made a statement. I haven't seen any black people who really want to leave the United States. Well, I haven't seen any person that's outside of the truth, that their mind wants to leave the so-called white man's mind. But their whole ideology of social decadence, the good life. When you tell somebody the lifestyles of the rich and famous, what pops in your mind is white people. Now, if I was to say MTV Cribs, That's what you got. Read it again.
Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 24. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. Wow.
So y'all folks can keep believing that this place is God we trust and we're good with everything, but this place was built on complete blood. And here's the thing: when you read in Habakkuk 2, of course, this city is built on blood. But give me Second Maccabees chapter 6 and start at verse 8, because I want to prove a point. Maccabean week is coming up. Hanukkah, Feast of Dedication. And what I've been seeing square across the board online and everything, you brothers and sisters that's decorating, you putting up Happy Feast of Dedication, Happy Hanukkah and everything else. I'm telling you, in my neighborhood, people's weird. They just start slowing down, hitting brakes like, what? I got it out. I put it outside. My wife said, forget that. We're going to put it outside. Soon as we put up our stuff outside, we put up lights, everything.
I'm gonna tell
Look
you.
across the street.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. They putting up the Christmas stuff. Now it's a battle.
I'm trying to find me a blow. I'm trying to find me a blow up menorah. Trying to find me one.
It's a spiritual. What y'all got to realize, we are in a spiritual war, spiritual battle. We're not gonna let them continue to dictate to us when we know what God says. This is not a white and black thing.
Right.
This is not a proud American type thing. This is going back to what God says. They're not conservative. They don't care about the Bible. Nobody, pull up the word liberal. Pull up the word liberal. Who cares about who's conservative or liberal? They all in the midst of sin. Right. They're all in the midst of wickedness. They're all telling you to trust in a system instead of trusting in the Most High, period. And they'll all claim that they believe on Christ. Isn't that funny? Some of them homosexual, got the liberal side, being homosexual, do whatever you want. You got the conservative side, being homosexuals too, in the closet. Yep. Then we show y'all some pictures? Yep. Now, pull it up. Liberal. Pull it up. Mm-hmm.
Liberal.
What does it say? Willing to respect or accept behavior or opinions different from one's own, open to new ideas. Like marrying a llama. Mm-hmm. Complete madness. Relating to or denoting a political or and social philosophy that promotes individual rights, civil liberties, democracy, and free enterprise. Oh, boy, I tell you the truth. If you folks are caught up into this garbage, then you deserve everything you're getting. That's right. Second Maccabees chapter 6. Let's see how we got caught up in this madness.
The book of Second Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 8. Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen.
So if a decree, give me another word in the comments. If there went out a decree, give me another word right there. There went out a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathens. Give me another word. Let me see. I'm going to give y'all 10 seconds. Let me see who's going to put it out there. Give me the word. Or law. Law. Executive order. Laws. Law. Rule. Think about. Come on. All y'all words are correct. I'm just looking for with the terminologies that they do now. Law. your words is right. I'm trying to get y'all to do. Give me the current word what they use now. If a decree goes out to the neighboring cities, bill mandates. Okay. Let's read it again.
Second Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 8. Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen.
There went out a decree to the neighbor cities. What y'all have to realize when we're reading the Bible, there's still politics going on. Okay? Now, here comes a policy, a decree, a policy. They do that now, right? Like right now, when they're gonna do a stimulus, they're putting together policies. So y'all are right in saying lawmakers, bill, you're right in saying that. Use the terminology what they do to us today. They use the different word to get your mind off focus. They go, oh, you know what? We're just putting together some policies. Really? And then we lose sight of things.
It's no different. My dear brother Ice Cube. Like with the contract in America, same thing. Because when you think about it, we're going for a decree to figure out how they're going to help our communities, not realizing that this whole system is set up to keep us oppressed.
They got policies.
Right.
They have policies. So when you do something, they go back and go,
policy.
Well, you know what? My hands are tied because it's in the policies.
Yep.
And you're going, what? How's your hands tied? Well, it's written in the policies. And that's how they trick us up all the time. Keep you in a box. Watch this. Come on. We're going to read it.
Right. Second Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 8.
Come on.
Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen by the suggestion of Ptolemy against the Jews, that they should observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifices.
You hear that? Observe the same fashions. Here's the policy. They have to do what everybody else is doing. They cannot do separate. They have to do what everybody else is doing. So you start to realize, wait a minute, they push us in the ghettos. They push us in what they call urban environments. As soon as you try to go out to the rural area, here comes the policies.
Yep.
Sir, you cannot build like this. You can't build like that. You can't do this. But meanwhile, they'll push everybody in the urban area on top of each other.
And call it projects.
Now, give me the Fox News one. Show y'all something. Read on in that, though. You can finish it.
Okay. Verse 9. And whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles.
We read this many times. Come on.
Shall be put to death.
Come on.
Then might a man have seen the present misery.
So if y'all thinking today, we want to separate from the system. We want to separate from their ideologies. To separate from his monetary system is going to be difficult because he's governing in whatever country you're in. They have a monetary system that's their lead currency or whatnot. But now what's starting to happen is that you have a digital revolution happening, Bitcoin. You got all kind of things happening. And guess what, folks? You're seeing the slow demise of the individual currency of the countries, and it's going to become global. And once that happens, they can't control anything. Trouble. All right? Trouble. Because if we decided ourselves, this is where you will go to jail. This is where they really going to get you. If we decided, you know what, we're going to deal with only commodities, Bitcoin, we're going to deal with digital currency. All black people, you return back. You black and Hispanics, return back. Only you could do digital currency. That's how we buy, sell, and trade with each other. That's it. Uh-oh. What happens to this man's economy? What happens to his whole ideologies? Everything starts to fall apart because we're now governed by a different system. All right? It's a whole system now. And that becomes dangerous. That's why they have to take people out. because when you start to realize, oh, separate yourself, get in line with the Most High, it's going to spawn that. But the problem that they have, folks, is that no one can stop the movement. No one can stop the Lord, because the same manner in which they're trying to destroy us, the Lord's going to turn their recompense back upon their same heads. Yep. So as we're getting together, that's what you don't realize. As we're coming out of the sin, coming together, the Lord can now fight for us. And these folks, evil men, are not a terror to good works. We just start building ourselves. Before you look up, the Lord has to now return. Prove it. Let's prove it wrong.
Because, see, here's the thing. Once the Israelites, we come together and build righteously, how can you stop that? And then on top of that, the system, how can you get upset with us because we get our people off of welfare? We get our people to become more entrepreneurs and build for ourselves rather than have them dictate to us.
Right. So what we're doing for our parts, because we're just not talking, you folks don't realize this thing's happening behind the scenes. We're not just coming on week after week talking. There's a lot of things happening behind the scenes. And as we start to develop the different strategies, I'm going to use that word, we will start to come online and we will start to grid. And when we start to grid, what I mean by that is that means we're going to start saying, hey, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, this, you folks that are on, come on this platform right here, is closed circuit. We are having a power meeting to discuss what we are going to do in this situation right here to build this particular facility or to get our people out of this particular situation. It's everything is being set up right now. So you have to be patient. You have to understand everything is on the Most High's timing. It's not on our timing. But as we come together and your voice now, you become, instead of you just penciling in scriptures and highlighting and doing all this stuff, you become now active. Oh, wait a minute. Nah, let me speak. This is what I seen. This is what we can put together. Well, brother, what skill set you have? Well, I'm an architect. Really? Oh, I do brickwork. Really? Oh, you know what? I do the electrical engineering. Really? Okay. Well, I've been doing it 30 years. Okay, guess what? We need you to lead off this whole division right here because something is coming. And as we start to develop the talks and the build like that, that's where the power is at. That's where the power is at. And we can govern ourselves because we have the holy book. And they can't stop us. They can't poison us. That's what they do in the communities. The communities are poison. Keep dumping in negativity. Show Cardi B half naked and show these women that they can never be like her unless they go get surgeries, unless they bleach their skin, unless they go out and get their teeth fixed and all the mentality things that you thinking about. Spend $30,000 on that. When you could have took all of that and been like, nope, my generation is good. Our children is going to have something that they're going to fall back on instead of this man's system. All right? Grinding them to powder. Read on. Watch this.
2 Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 10. For there were two women brought who had circumcised their children.
Come on.
Whom when they had openly led round about the city, the babes hanging at their breasts, they cast them down headlong from the wall.
So you think this man cares? Is underneath the Greeks. The Romans are here. You think that they say, no, don't cast babies down, don't do this? Nah, for circumcision? Come on.
Verse 11, and others that had run together into caves nearby to keep the Sabbath day secretly.
You hear that? You had to keep the Sabbath day in that time frame right there. You had to keep it secretly. Come on.
Being discovered to Philip were all burnt together.
They were all, when they saw what they were doing, keeping God's commandments, they burned them together. Pay attention. Come on.
Because they made a conscience to help themselves for the honor of the most sacred day.
Come on.
Now I beseech those that read this book that they be not discouraged for these calamities.
So it looks like we're down and out. It looks like the chips are stacked against us. But the Lord is saying, don't be discouraged for the calamities. Let these people talk. The Candace Owens, Fox News, CNN, whoever it is, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, whoever is doing what they're doing, it'll make no difference. The Most High is in control of all things. Watch, read.
But that they judge those punishments not to be for the destruction, but for a chastening of our nation.
So being lawless, you need to be chastised. Give me Tobit, chapter 13. Read verses 1 through 3. Watch this. I'm going to move pretty quick right now. Mm-hmm. Yep.
The book of Tobit, chapter 13 and verse 1. Then Tobit wrote a prayer of rejoicing and said, Blessed be God that liveth forever, and blessed be his kingdom.
His kingdom. His kingdom. Read.
Verse 2. For he doth scourge and have mercy. He leadeth down to hell and bringeth up again.
You understand? He leadeth down to hell. Hell means captivity. And then bringeth up again. That's what we're waiting on. And it's happening right underneath everybody's noses. Come on.
Neither is there any that can avoid his hand.
Come on.
Confess him before the Gentiles.
Confess him before the Gentiles. Don't hide. Like they went secret in the Maccabees. Don't hide. Be bold now, because, see, when we have to do things in secret, it showed out. You'll see it play out in the Maccabees. Well, instead of dying secretly in the cave for keeping the Sabbath, I'd rather be in the open and keep the Sabbath. Come on.
Confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel.
The children of Israel. Come on.
For he have scattered us among them.
He has scattered us among them. He scattered us among them. Okay? And you don't think the Lord, give me John 18. So we're scattered all through amongst the people, but now we're waking up. Let your light shine. All right? We know that Israelites are lawless. We know that you don't understand what you're doing and you don't see the ignorance. We know that you think you can turn up whenever you want to turn up. We know that you believe that a gun can save you or give you protection. None of that is true. John 18, verse 28.
St. John, chapter 18 and verse.
See if Christ trusts the system.
The book of St. John, chapter 18 and verse 28. Then led they Jesus from Caiaphas unto the hall of judgment.
Now, how does man have a hall of judgment? He crooked.
Right.
How they got a hall of judgment and they're crooked? Come on.
And it was early.
Uh-huh.
And they themselves went not into the judgment hall, lest they should be defiled, but that they might eat the Passover.
Isn't that a hypocrite?
Yep.
This is why it shows you we needed chastisement. Because you cannot say that you're following God, but then hate your brethren. How's that work? Come on. And you talking about eating the Passover. You got the Passover right there.
Right.
Come
Verse
on.
29. Pilate then went out unto them and said, What accusation bring ye against this man? They answered and said unto him, If he were not a malefactor, he would not have delivered him up unto thee. Then said Pilate unto them, Take ye him, and judge him according to your law. The Jews therefore said unto him, It is not lawful for us to put any man to death.
Yeah, they didn't have the right to put any man to death. It's not lawful for us to do it. Pay attention. You should understand the correlation even to this man's kingdom right now. Come on.
Verse 32. That the saying of Jesus might be fulfilled, which he spake, signifying what death he should die. Then Pilate entered into the judgment hall again, and called Jesus and said unto him, Art thou the king of the Jews? Jesus answered him, Sayest thou this thing of thyself, or did others tell it thee of me?
Come on.
Pilate answered, Am I a Jew? Thine own nation and the chief priests have delivered thee unto me. What hast thou done?
What hast thou done? Come on.
Jesus answered, My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight, that I should not be delivered.
I thought Jesus was about peace, man.
Yeah, I thought he was about just hold hands with
Thought he was
everybody.
conservative.
Conservative. Seems to me like he's a revolutionary to me.
Come on.
Jesus answered, My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight, that I should not be delivered to the Jews.
Come on.
But now is my kingdom not from hence.
It's not. Remember with Tobit. Tobit was talking about that kingdom. He said, it's not my kingdom right now. That's what y'all folks got to realize. This setup and everything, this is not the Lord's kingdom.
Nope.
So why are you so adamant in partaking in it? You see what it's doing in destroying people. You see what it done to the girl Candace's mind. Her mind is mush right now. Her mind is trash. All right? She don't even understand the plight of our people. She's a walking zombie. It's really crazy because if you look at the premise behind what she's doing, they're looking at her like, dang, she really want to be us.
Yep. But she'll never be us.
I mean, it's sad. Read on.
Verse 37. Pilate therefore said unto him, Art thou a king then? Jesus answered, Thou sayest.
Thou sayest. Come on.
That I am a king. To this end I was born.
Come on.
And for this cause came I into the world.
Come on.
That I should bear witness unto the truth.
Unto the truth. Come on.
Everyone that is of the truth heareth my voice.
Everyone that is of the truth heareth his voice. That's what truly caused repentance. Not politics or the media or whatever case may be. Not who's got the most money.
And not people who are willing to compromise. Because when you want to, because Christ says something very profane. Everyone that is of the truth heareth my voice. So guess what, pastors? If you're not of the truth, and the truth, we know what the truth is. You ain't keeping commandments. You ain't trying to follow the Christ as it is written. Guess what? You don't hear his voice.
That was a profound statement. Now,
very profound.
Read it again, though.
I'm going to read it one more time. Thou sayest that I am a king. To this end I was born. And for this cause came I into the world, that I should bear witness unto the truth. Everyone that is of the truth heareth my voice.
Pilate could not hear his voice because remember Luke 13,
Right.
He took the Israelites and mingled their blood with the sacrifices. So that showed you that kingdom was wicked.
Yep.
Hebrews 11, verse 32.
Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 32. And what shall I more say? For the time would fail me to tell of Gideon and of Barak.
Come on.
And of Samson.
Come on.
And
Jephthah.
of
Jephthah.
Jephthah. Of David also. And Samuel of the prophets.
Of the prophets. Come on. And of the prophets. Come on.
Who through faith subdued kingdoms.
Wait a minute. Through what?
Through faith subdued kingdoms.
So you can look at this kingdom like they have might, they have the money, they're gridlocked, they have the military, they have the minds of the people funneling into politics. They have some people that have picked out to represent our people, like the Candace Coon lady, to think that she can represent our people, but it's still gonna fail.
Yep.
All right, because of the fate of the saints, because of the Israelites that stand in the fight for the Most High, all right, that's going to stand up in this day and for righteousness, for truth. Come on.
Who through faith,
come on,
subdued kingdoms.
Come on.
Wrought righteousness.
Wrought righteousness, not wickedness, righteousness, meaning keeping commandments as Christ said to. Read.
Obtain promises.
Obtain promises. Come on.
Stop the mouth of lions.
Stop the mouth of lions. Stop the mouth of lions. All right? Read.
Quench the violence of fire.
Come on.
Escape the edge of the sword.
Even escape the edge of the sword. Come on.
Out of weakness were made strong.
Out of the weakness. You look at the nation right now, we look real weak. But the Lord put the calamities on us to chastise us so we can be made strong, so we can understand what righteousness is, what's right and wrong, how we should live as a people. We would never understand that if we was not at the bottom understanding wickedness. Now you can turn your mind on to understand what righteousness truly is. Read.
Wax valiant and fight.
And fight. Come on.
Turn to flight the armies of the aliens.
Turn to flight. Put the armies of the aliens to flight. The aliens as a people they are not of Israel. Put them to flight. Anybody in Christianity, Islam, politics, you're being put to flight. You'll never be able to stand before the truth. That's why they don't want us on the programs. Put us on the programs and see.
That's right.
Read.
Verse 35. Women receive their dead raised to life again.
Women receive the dead raised to life again. Read.
And others
come on,
were tortured, not accepting deliverance, that they might obtain a better resurrection.
That they might. He's telling you about what happened in the Maccabees. Tortured so they can get a better resurrection. All right, read.
And others had trial of cruel mockings.
Come on.
And scourgings.
Remember what they did. For not eating pork, for keeping the Sabbath, for circumcising their little babies. Cruelty hit them. But they have a better resurrection coming. Read.
Yea, moreover, of bonds and imprisonment.
Come on.
They were stoned.
Come on.
They were sawn asunder.
Remember, Stephanus was stoned. They were sawed asunder, meaning some people's bodies was cut in half. Read.
Were tempted. Were slain with the sword.
Come on.
They wandered about in sheepskins and goatskins.
Come on.
Being destitute, afflicted, tormented.
Afflicted, tormented. Come on.
Verse 38. Of whom the world was not worthy. They wandered in deserts and in mountains and in dens and caves of the earth.
See, that's what happens when you might have to wonder like that if you're going to stand for the Most High, because the world is evil. This is not the Lord's kingdom. Read.
And these all, having obtained a good report through faith.
Through faith, come on.
Receive not the promise.
They have not gotten the promise yet. We're still walking in this. We're still in biblical times. We have not gotten to the promise yet. Read.
God, having provided some better thing for us.
But the Most High having provided some better thing for us. You can see it afar off. God having provided some better thing for us. Read.
That they without us should not be made perfect.
That they without us should not be made perfect. It's impossible. You have to have the holy people on the face of the earth. The Most High promised that he was going to give the kingdom to those who are following Christ in the keeping of the commandments as Israelites. The world hates that, so every other thing is going to be put into your face so that you can push God's words to the side and trust in man. But the book of Acts, chapter 5 and verse 29.
The book of Acts, chapter 5 and verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men.
We're going to obey the Most High rather than man. That's right. All right. We're not going to follow ideologies, simple people talking about what they think they know when we are on the streets, understanding the plight of our people and understanding what we got to return back to. Nah, we're not going back to that party ever again. We're going to be with Christ in the keeping of the commandments. You folks continue to send up the prayers. Continue to get your minds right to build, okay? Visit the website, IsraeliteSaintsOfChrist.org. All right? Get off the bench, all right? We're getting your messages. Be patient with us. There's a lot of things happening behind the scenes, all right? All praises to the Most High in Christ. Oh, yeah, and guess what? Newsflash, Large Will tomorrow. We're actually doing a part 2.
right.
Some of y'all got, we're actually doing a part 2, the virus. You got the picture? The virus, all right? Vaccination, part 2.
That's right.
We didn't get to everything. So all praises to the Most High in Christ for allowing us to understand the scriptures a little bit. Yeah, there you go. All right, y'all folks better pay attention. There's a lot of things happening on this earth, and if you make it to the other side of 2020, man, consider it a blessing, because the Most High, he's out here guillotining people. Now, you don't have to stop reading the Bible right now because we're closing out. Continue to read, but with that, we say shalom.